Hi everyone. I just got out of the shower today. This is my first time really being in front of the camera, so it might be a mess. I'm not really comfortable yet, per se, to speak in front of the camera, but I'll get better. I feel as the more that I do it. But basically, I was going to post a skit video today, but I decided to just kind of speak my mind a little bit because I read a Reddit post yesterday that kind of make me want to post this because it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time as to why are we okay with this practice at card shows when it comes to the card's trade value. So my thing is it's something that has been going on for a long time, I feel, but it's become more prominent and accepted because actually, I don't know why. I don't know why it's actually accepted. All I know is that I've seen it a lot more now in YouTube videos, like for the Bulbasaur, Coop, and Garchomp. They just post these videos of them at the shows, and they just the same thing every time. Someone brings in their cards, and they're like, "Oh, I trade at 80%," and I just think to myself, like, why are we okay with this? Why are we okay with them devaluing our cards so much? Because I value my cards for what they're worth. I love my cards. And I just feel like it's an insult for them to devalue them so much when I want something that they have. And I get it. It's something that I want that they have. But why do I have to devalue my cards so much just so to benefit them? To benefit them, basically. And I'll give you an example. So basically, let's just say, so my Pikachu here. This card is roughly 480, but just round it up to 500, just for an easy round number. So if I take this to someone like the Bulbasaur, or I'm not singling him out, but anybody at these shows, these vendors, they they would be like, hey, um, see, sorry, that's why I said I'm terrible in front of the camera. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts, but let's just say I wanted to trade my card, the $500 Pikachu. They have a $500 card that I want. Great. Let's just do a straight trade, right? 500 for 500. But they won't do that. They will say, "Oh, your trade value is 80%." So 80% of 500 is 400. So basically I have to devalue my card $100. So this is how stupid it is in my opinion, because so you're telling me my card that's worth the same as yours, but now it's not because you gave me trade value and it's $400. I have to not only give you my card and then give you the money that you took away from me from devaluing my card. I don't get how that makes sense. I don't get why that's an accepted practice within the community and people are okay with it. And every one of these vendors does it. The Bulbasaur, Garchomp, and Coop just kind of really put it out there. But now there's all these other YouTubers that are popping out of nowhere to doing the same thing. They basically go to these card shows and just put up their stand and say I'm buying at 80%. Some of them 70, 75. That's even worse. It's just, why are people okay with this? I just don't think that should be an accepted practice. And people want to say, oh, it's because of the cost to be at these shows. Well, unless it's Collecticon, which I feel it's probably expensive. I've obviously never been a vendor. I don't have enough to be a vendor. I don't even have enough money to be a vendor. But to go and sell the stuff that I have and buy stuff there. But I wouldn't want to do that anyway, as far as offering someone 80% for the stuff that they have. I wouldn't feel right doing that, personally. But besides Collecticon, which I'm sure it's probably expensive to go to that show, all the other shows aren't really that expensive, so there can't be this excuse that, oh, they're vendors so they have to cover costs. It's just BS. Like, they don't have to cover that much. there's a card show coming up here in town where it's $200 for a booth or for a table. It's just like that. Why? Like, how is $200 for a table justified, and you offer me 80% for my cards? I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm overthinking it. Maybe it's just maybe it's just something that people are okay with because it happens everywhere now. But for me, I just don't think it's an okay practice. I basically, when I go to these shows, I don't even take my cards anymore because I just go in with a list of what I want, and basically I try to negotiate from there, from the prices that they have. But it's sometimes even worse because they mark up the prices so much. And if you're new to the hobby, like I was last year or about a year and a half ago when I started collecting again, you would get ripped off if you didn't know what you were looking for, if you don't go and do your research before the shows. I remember buying like $2 to $3 cards that someone had at the show for like $20, and I bought them without knowing because I just didn't know where to look. And as I became more aware and more knowledgeable and where to look and where to do my research, then now I go to these shows with cards that I want, knowing how much I would be willing to pay for them. And a lot of the times, these vendors already mark up the prices so much, so when you negotiate with them, you're still going to be overpaying for them, and which that on its own is already stupid because you're already taking money from the people that are going there by devaluing their cards so much, and then you're marking up things so much that when you make a deal on these cards, you're really not losing anything. So I don't know, all these YouTubers now, they're so popular, they're showing off their 6-figure collections, their insane rooms that they built, and we're basically paying for them because, well, one, we watch their YouTube videos, like their content they make on YouTube, sure, that's perfectly fine, nothing crazy, but the practices at these shows, I'm not okay with. And maybe I'm probably nothing's going to change. I mean, I have 5 followers on YouTube, 38 on TikTok. I doubt anybody will even see this video, but even then, unless people stand up and say, you know what, like I'm not taking 80% for my cards, if everybody just goes with money instead of their cards to trade and just buys out all these vendors, unless that happens, then I just don't think anything's going to change anytime soon. And just like the whole scalping situation, unless people stop buying from them, it's going to continue, unfortunately, until probably after the Team Rocket set, because that one's probably a really big set that obviously people are going to want. But at the end of the day, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Obviously, it's just the thoughts of one person, which won't mean much. So, it is what it is. Anyways, that's it.